arise from APC Progressive Youth Conference, the young people have agreed to move forward in the positive way in the party. Reading the communique of the conference, the youth leader of the party, Barrister Ismail Ahmed, says the conference agreed that henceforth contestants for councillorship must be below 35 years of age, while 45 years should be considered for the chairmanship of local government. Also, every party officials should have young people as their deputies.
There's what we expect the party to do, and there's what we expect our all young people to do as well. First of all, I want to make an announcement that we are going to be unveiling an app very soon. We call it the Young Progressives app, that anyone, everywhere in the country who is a young progressive within the age bracket would be able to tap into that app and listen or see or access information about the party and about what the government of Muhammadu Buhari or any other progressive government across the country is doing for the benefit of the people. So it will be like a one-stop shop of young people accessing information on the doings of government and the party as well. Because sometimes what we realize is that there are people who are members of the party and they are looking for information, they don't know who to go to or who to ask for basic information of what the party is doing. And embarrassingly, you find out that a lot of times people ask you that they are members of the party, but they don't know where to go and do what, when or how to get it done. Hopefully, once we put this app together, we're going to soon unveil it, and everyone with a touch of an app should be able to find out. That is the kind of technological advancement that we hope that we'll be able to achieve for the party going forward. Also, we are going to set up a lobby committee of young people, which the national chairman has already approved. The lobby committee is going to be about young people who are going to go around and lobby leaders of the party for concessions, so to speak, and inclusion at the grassroots level of very young people. Because like I said, most of the things we are going to do are not confrontational per se, but we are going to negotiate vociferously as much as we would want to deliver on this. Now, it is no longer a story that the conference recognizes that Nigeria is a young country. We all know that 70% of its population are below the age of 50, and that the youthfulness fuels a huge energy capable of delivering sustainable prosperity to over 200 million Nigerians if well harnessed and rightly targeted. Consequently, in actually promoting the values of progressivism, it is in the strategic advantage of the Progressive Party and indeed the country to create room for upward mobility of young people in all spheres of human endeavor mentioned in our communique. Submissions at the conference highlighted that conversely, the energy, if wrongly channeled, can lead to a demographic disaster. The young people, 70% of the population, could be a demographic dividend. If wrongly channeled, it could be a demographic disaster. This engagement, or this conference has shown us one thing, that there needs to be constant engagement between leaders and the led, between the governors and the governed, between the party leadership and the party membership. That continuous engagement solves a lot of problems, reduces tension, and creates opportunity for upward mobility and inclusion. So we have a couple of few asks that we did. My job is to report what the conference agreed on. On the strength of various submissions and articulations made at the conference, below are some, not all, some of the recommendations and resolutions reached. On the political issue, that it is needful to deepen participation by deliberately mainstreaming young people in the party and government for the purpose of securing legacy of the party and the president as follows. 1, we have to create a pathway to a significant inclusion of young people in party activities, leadership structures, and committees, and also to engage young people in government at all levels by strengthening the provisions of the constitution of the party and establishing guidelines for elected and appointed officials of government and the party as well. The party should fix, this is our recommendation, the age of 35 as the ceiling or below for all councillorship seats to be contested for under the party. We have 8,812 wards. If the party will slate those positions only for young people below the age of 35, that is empowering politically almost 10,000 young people at the grassroots level. There is no party in this country that has ever done that, and you can imagine the political empowerment that can be at that kind of level if it is slated. I know already most young people are the ones who are councillors, but the fact that the party has not made it categorical, if it does, imagine the political empowerment that can mean at the grassroots level. Young people under the age of 45 should be considered only for the positions of party chairmanship, at the local government councils. That is local government, not party offices. Government, local government council chairman. Young people under the age of 45, I think the party should seriously consider this one of the submissions at the conference. State houses of assembly as well. Almost about 500 positions slated for people under the age of 45. Political empowerment, unprecedented, the type of which you've never seen. Those are the things that would attract a lot of young people into the party, not because they must become, but because they are given a level playing field to play at that level. At the party level, young men and women should be encouraged and given preference to run for every office, especially those of deputies. Every principal office, at least a deputy should be a young person, either male or female. And I think it's a proper tutelage. What you do is that you train those people to be in principal positions going forward. And I think it's very important that we create that kind of avenue. We think that the party should have a Directorate of Information Technology, under the Publicity Secretary. I think it's important that we have Communications Director, yes, but we should have a Department of Information Technology. I think the party should have that. It's about time that we really pay attention to that. Every committee, be it ad hoc or permanent, at government or party level, should have at least one or two representatives of youth, clearly stated. Clearly stated, because right now in the Constitution we have something like there are 3 delegates from states that are coming to National Convention, one of which must at least be a woman. But then nobody is talking about the young people. So the young people must be given their clear stand and opportunity. So in every committee the party is sending out that involves up to 3 people, or 5 or 7 or whatever number the party is doing, there should be at least a representative of young people in that committee. And in the government as well. It's one of the things we are going to submit to the president when we go to see him in submitting his report, in our report to him. Membership board, create a Directorate of Youth Affairs. Right now, I know that there is no Directorate of Youth Affairs. I know the constitutional review has already finished. We have made our submissions. Hopefully we hope that the committee has captured it. But we think that there should be a Directorate of Youth under the Office of the National Youth Leader. I think if the youth and the women wing are clearly the most important instruments of mobilization in a political party. So we should have directorates headed by a director who is not more than 40 or 45 years at most in that office, that would galvanize young people on behalf of the youth leader, like a permanent civil service. There are so many directorates here at the party office. Why shouldn't we have a Directorate of Youth Affairs? I think it's probably the number one thing that should come along. I wonder how they missed that anyway. And I think the young people should be encouraged. How can they be encouraged? Women right now are being given nomination forms for free when they want to contest. Well, we may not be lucky enough to be given free. Young people might not be lucky enough if they ask for free, but at least it should be subsidized. If a young person below a certain age wants to contest, I think it is fair for the parties to subsidize the price of nomination forms. When you tell a young person that if you want to contest for governor, you have to pay 20 million for nomination form, that's a tall order. You know, so I think because he has not had the privilege of longevity of holding different positions before, to be able to cater for himself in that regard. And I think it's only fair that the conference also resolved that anybody who is sitting in a position and wants to recontest for that particular position, then his nomination fees should not be the same as of those who are coming new. So if you are a sitting member of House of Reps, you want to recontest, and the price of forms is 5 million naira, you should be asked to pay 10 million naira because you have already benefited from the party as an elected official for the last 4 years. So those who are coming new should be asked to pay 5 million naira. But the person who is returning should be able to pay double that amount. You know, I think that's a fair process. You know, and the young people are just basically saying, hey, if we want to give us an opportunity, yes, there is a bill that has been signed, not too young to run. But what is missing is that we have not signed the bill of not too poor to run. And that's exactly what is affecting a lot of people. It's not the age. It's not the political age that matters. It's the economic age. So if you are 45, like Shegun Dada here, and you are still economically young, then you probably still remain 25 in the real sense of the word. So basically give us the opportunity to be able to participate in this by reducing the price to even at least if it is 70%. We're not asking for free, we're not asking for 50% slice. But if it is 10 million, let us pay 7, let us pay 6, let us pay 5. I think it's fair. Once you reduce the number, what you miss, what you lose by not getting the 3 million, you get by getting more people to apply for it, to buy it. So I think you still get the same or more actually. And I think we've talked about this. Another thing that the conference agreed on is the Progressives Institute. I think we've talked about this since the time of the former chairman, John Odigio Egun. We've talked about setting a Progressive Institute. I think this must be done now, and the young people can drive that process. From beginning, we should have anybody that has joined the party, we have governors now joining the party, they should be able to visit our institute and understand what it is to be a progressive. That it is more than just changing the flag in your car or the flag behind your seat if you're a governor. That there is something that makes you a progressive. You visit the national office of the party, you go to the institute, you understand the details of what it is that makes you a progressive. There has to be something different about you. It has to be more than just about flag and the card that you put in your pocket as a membership card. So on the social economic, we also talked about the economy because the empowerment we are looking for young people as progressives is more than just political empowerment. We are looking for economic empowerment as well. There has to be reasons. There are so many things that this government has done to economically empower people. But we have not structured it in a way to propagate it and properly communicate it as a progressive idea of economic empowerment. And that has to be done immediately. We understand that technology is the future, whether you like it or not, because if there is a rice farmer in Kebbi today, he is immediately competing with the rice farmer in Vietnam. You know, so technology means a lot. The world has actually become a lot smaller. So we believe that progressive governments all across the country, governors and local governments should be able to do a national ICT strategy. There should be broadbands open. There should be ICT parks called the progressive parks all across states that are progressive. There must be something that is uniform about Kano and Lagos and Kwara and Gombe because they are governed by people who are progressive and they belong to this party. There should be something common. If it is the progressive park, why not? If it is giving people with disability important position in office, that is a progressive thinking. The APC is the first party that has done that. We need to do something in uniform to show that we are all progressives in thinking, in attitude, in conduct of governance. We also want, education is Everybody has talked about how important education is. Everybody knows what it is. It's the level playing field for everybody, you know. And then we just don't want a vicious cycle of you're poor now to send your children to school and they don't grow up to become very competitive citizens. It's not going to be, the next 10 years is not going to be like the last 20 years. Probably in this country in the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, all you need to do is to go to school and get a certificate in any course. You know, you have a job waiting for you, or you have a fighting chance if you come out. I don't think it's going to be like that in the next 10 years. There are more than 800 to 1 million people that are graduating from tertiary institutions every year. Before we used to know about one batch of NYSC, now we have like 3 batches or 4 batches, and they are still not enough. That is the number of people being churned out from tertiary institutions. So believe me, it is not going to be enough for you to just go to school in the next 10 years, or 5 years more even. It has to be something of quality. You have to be able to compete in a global economic system. You know, you have to be able to do that. So I think it is very important that focus should be made on the quality and the curriculum of education that we churn out. And it should be a progressive idea. It should be something that comes out from, you know, from the policies of the progressive government. And I think it's something we've done. There are so many things we've done, like the Empower. We should be able to expand it and provide online courses, have development of cohesive national education plan, have a drive to implement the Child Rights Act in all the states that at least governed by progressives. You know, have evidence-based recommendations to encourage and facilitate the support of girl-child education. These are all things that we've talked about in the conference during the economic session. But the question is now, what do we as young people are going to do? Now, in line with the resolutions, we as young people we would like to support and encourage young progressives to contest at ward congresses, local government congress, state congresses, in all national elections. We are aiming to produce at least 1,000 ward chairmen who are young people and to subscribe to the idea of progressivism. That's what we intend to do. We intend to become more actively involved in the propagation in the ideals and ethos of APC. We are not going to be seen running down our party. Wherever we are going to uphold our ethos and we are going to hit our chest and say we are progressives, we belong to this party because there's no party like it. Attend regularly all periodic and scheduled meetings of the party at ward, zone, local government, state, and national levels. What a lot of people used to miss is that last mile. They used to wonder why is it that the older people have edge over us. It is very simple. They have staying power. I've once attended a conference with President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015, before the elections, at the Hilton when we were unveiling our roadmap. He sat down in one place for almost 6 hours without moving. 6 hours. That's somebody who is hungry for something. Young people will come out, go, think they have business, they are busy, they are looking at their phones. They are not ready for what these older people are ready for. So if we're ready, let's concentrate and go back to our wards and have meetings with young people. In fact, I'm mandating every young person who believes he's a young progressive in this APC within the next 2 weeks to go back to his ward before the beginning of the congresses to have meetings in his ward. And we want to see pictures, we want to see videos of you having meetings and galvanizing people to be part of the ward congresses. That is where it matters. From then on, it is the people that you churn up as ward leaders that will begin to do other elections. Be part of the process. Do the last mile. It is very important that we do that. And then we pay our dues. Very important. People don't do that. They are waiting for something they are going to get. Pay your dues, both energy-wise, resource-wise. Pay your dues. Know your ward chairman, be part of deliberating on who become your ward ESCO. That is the beginning of 2023 election, whether you like it or not. The ward congresses begins 2023 election. Benefits of the resolutions. The APC, as a political party, has the largest number of young people in history. If we do the ward thing that we suggested, it's going to be bigger. If we do the local government, it's going to be the biggest in Africa, by all standard. I'm not saying that most young people are not, most councillors or ward chairmen are not young people. They are. In my state, Kano, for example, I think out of the 44 local governments, almost 39 are young people. But it is by, I don't know if it is by design. We have to make it by design. We have to make it a deliberate effort of the party to make sure that that happens going forward. You know, and young people will take responsibility to develop and implement social development and national unity programs across the state. MSMEs, all these things that the government of Muhammadu Buhari is doing are all things that we are going to support and propagate in every way we can. Thank you very much. I want to use this opportunity again to thank all the committees of young people.